Good morning. My name is Michael Schmela. I'm the Managing Director of TaiyangNews. We are very happy to welcome you here at the TaiyangNews and SNEC Energy Storage and Hydrogen and Fuel Cell Leadership Conversations. We had started this format already at SNEC in May. There we looked into the solar part, and now we're having here at the Fuel Cell and Storage edition of SNEC a continuation of that format, and want to focus on the storage part of the energy transition. Solar and storage is the ultimate partnership, is fundamental for transitioning from the fossil fuel world to the new energy world based on renewables. And we are glad to have with us several leaders in this field. I'm very happy now to welcome here with me Kart Gui, who's the head of strategy at EVE Energy. Good morning, Kurt.
Good morning, Michael.
Cool. So let's start. As I said, energy storage is the key to the energy transition. It is true for the transport, for the power, and also for the heating sector.
That's right.
So and it's all about electrification in the end.
Yep.
So what role do you foresee for EV Energy in this transition?
Oh, basically, I think I guess not all the audience know the EVE Energy. Do you want me to have a very short, brief introduction of the EVE Energy? EVE Energy is established in 2001 at Huizhou, which is the pretty early stage of the company. We focus on the consumer batteries, which is like a primary batteries, which use the lithium metal as the anode part, but you can't charge it again. You just only use it once. Yeah, that's what we start. And after a few years, we become the order number one in this field. We have like 80% market share in the primary batteries. And then after that, we move into the electric vehicle, which we start to make all the batteries like a pouch cells, like a prismatic cells, and cylindrical cells as well. And from there, we slowly grow to a very large company. Now we are pretty much number 4 in China and the number 10, top 10 in the whole world. And this year we're close to like a 10 billion USD dollar sales this year. We're very close to that. So basically, that is a company from very beginning, very small, working on the primary batteries, and we now move into the secondary battery, which is for the energy storage and the electric vehicle. And now we become like a top 10 in the whole world.
Okay, cool. Solar is growing fast. We've been used to that for many, many years, but storage is now, battery storage now is growing even faster on a different level. But of course, it's not only on a stationary, but you have also, of course, the EV part to play. So when you look at this strong growth, what are the key challenges that you have to master?
Yes, that's really good questions. If you think about this whole business, and we know the market is going really fast, and actually in the last 3 years, every year there's like a 100% increase in this field. And if you think about it, the key challenges never change. No matter what happens on the market, it's always the same things. 2 key challenges. The first thing is the safety. Safety decide, do you want to use that products? The second one is the cost. The second one, cost, is decide, do you really want to put money on that product? I think that's 2 questions you should answer for any companies in this field. Yeah, even the market goes very fast, the customers will always ask that 2 basic questions. If you can't face that 2 questions, you won't be, you can't go very far. Yeah, that's what I believed.
But I think so. At the moment, there's of course one challenge is maybe it's not too hard, but maybe it's about survival also a little bit, because we have so many companies moving into this attractive field.
In China, last year there's like 20,000 new companies moving into this field.
Yes, right.
It's crazy, yeah.
And you see everywhere, and that's again stationary cars. So
That's right.
everywhere you see so many different products, so many different players, so many different brands, so many different new names. So how to manage that? Because obviously there will be consolidation. We're seeing that already. Prices are dropping across the board. The competition is getting fiercer. So how do you see that playing out, and how do you see EVE, energy, kind of getting through this rough waters?
Yeah, I believe in the longer run, this direction is always the best direction. If you think about it, in the next 10 years, the new energy field will be the best one. I believe that, never doubt about that. In the short run, if you think about every new business, it's always up and down, or up and down. So I believe for now, it's definitely, I see the market is it's rough time now, and there's an oversupply of the batteries and all those systems. But if you think about it, for any business, the key, what's the key success point for any company? I think there's two things. The first thing is you make the best quality products. That's what we focus now. We're working on the quality part for a very long time now. That quality is actually related to the safety of the products. Let's say for the battery business, there's a very people always think about very big, large pictures of the battery business, and for us, as the battery makers, we focus all on the very small, tiny things like the particle controls, like the temperature, like all those things. That's very tiny things. If there's a small particles in your battery, there will be a short circuit, and then they will catch fire. In like 10 years, sometimes you don't know, but that would cause some problem. So we don't want those things to happen. That's why we focus a lot of human power, a lot of resource and money put into the quality control part. We try to make the most safe products in the whole world. That's our target.
It's also obviously about partnership and services, I believe. You just mentioned that you returned from a trip to Europe.
That's
where
right.
You visited
Yeah.
your partners.
By the way, it's a great trip anyway. Yeah.
And you just tell me a little bit about what you're seeing actually, because you have this new factory that you've been building.
Exactly
actually.
right. Yeah, we are working on one single factory. The largest one single factory is at Jinmen. It's not far away, just like a 2 hours flight from Shanghai to Jinmen. And that one is 60 gigawatts for one single factory. That's the largest one so far, as far as I aware. So what happened for this field is that there are two things we noticed. One thing is that for any standalone energy storage station, the scale getting larger and larger. Back to a few years ago, like 2 years or 3 years ago, the size of the single energy storage station is like 20 megawatts hours, like that, but now it's like gigawatts. So even for energy storage station, the scale getting much larger. It's like tenfold increased. And another thing we noticed that back to a few years ago, people always talk about energy storage like 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, it's long. It's like long. It's not a long time energy storage. Now it's increased to 4 hours, sometimes 6 hours. Even somebody said it's 8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Think about that. It's 2 hours to 8 hours is 400 times increase. The reason I think for that is at the very beginning, people think about it for energy storage is for the more like a backup energy. You say there's a blackout, so you need something to immediately to supply the electricity, but you don't want to use that kind of energy storage station for a long time. So 2 hours is more than enough. But now people more and more realize for the grid, for the commercial applications, you do need longer hours, like 6 hours or 8 hours time to stabilize the grid, or whatever reason behind it. There are always a lot of different applications. So I think that's two things changed in terms of this field. So basically, one is the scale getting larger, another one the time getting longer. In terms of that, so we have put a lot of human power and research resource into this field to customize the requirement from the customers. One system we did is we have developed a new batteries which we called 560K. For that batteries, basically one single cells have 2 kilowatts of the energy inside one single cell. If you think about it, for the domestic energy storage, normally it's 1 or 2 kilowatts of energy inside, but that's like the size of like that large, that's like a carbon. But now one single cells, you have 2 kilowatts of energy inside. That's one thing. What happened for that kind of battery? Why we want to design that kind of battery? I think there's quite a few reasons, but all related to the 2 challenges. The 4th challenge is the safety. The second one is the cost. If you think about it, for the large batteries, I know we are the first company announced that kind of batteries, the large energy storage batteries. There are a lot of companies now is following us. Yeah, but I not really sure they really know the reason behind it. If you think about the safety, safety over the first, and if you think about the safety, the small battery, what's the difference between the small battery and the large battery? If you think about the small battery, the current, the distance for the current traveling from one side to another side is very short. What happens is that, for all the batteries, number one question in terms of safety is how to you manage the heat. The heat is one of the things you think about it. Heat is one of the things that cause all the troubles. Even for the small batteries, because the distance is so short, the heat travel from one side to another side is very short time, and then they can, if you charge or discharge the batteries, everything can be spread to everywhere immediately. So it's hard to determine which part is the fragile part, which part is the bottleneck in terms of the heat management. But for the large battery, the size is much larger, and then you do know only some of the part the heat will accumulate to some of the point which will cause trouble. So if you can determine which part the heat is the hard part, the bottleneck, then you can sophisticate develop some technology to actually to reduce or remove the heat accumulated in that second part. And then for the whole batteries, the energy management is much more efficient. So that's why for the 506K, this product, the energy stored in this battery is like much larger than the small batteries, but actually the whole heat management is much easier and actually less heat. Let heat come out from this battery. That's one thing. Another thing is if you think about the cost, for the large format batteries like a 560K, you see now for the each watt of the battery, the price for the battery is in Chinese currency is 0.5 yuan in Chinese currency. Because for the 50K, this battery has actually it's 2,000 watts. It's 2 kilowatts, right? 2,000 watts. For single batteries, the cost for that battery is 1,000 yuan Chinese currency. That's a lot of money. If you think about the mobile phone now, the cheapest mobile phone pretty much is 1,000 or 2,000. You can buy a mobile phone in China now. I don't know in Europe, it's pretty much more expensive, but still in China it's 1,000 or 2,000. Some expensive one is 6,000 or more. If you think about it for the phones, why the phone's battery is always cheap? It's always use the best quality or best most expensive batteries for the phone. Think about the reason for that. That's because in terms of the cost for the phone, it's 1,000 or 2,000 yuan. The battery's cost is 10 yuan or less. It's 1% in terms of the cost.
If you look at the size you were mentioning, you said you are building a 60 gigawatt factory
for single
here,
factory.
and then you see all these startups. So coming back to these original questions, who are actually starting at much lower sizes. You see even solar module manufacturers now integrating into cell manufacturing of batteries.
Yeah,
they cannot compete, right? So
very
because
hard.
you talk about so much innovation taking place also. So how will these companies actually be able to survive when you have a handful of companies who are really, really big and putting a lot of efforts into R&D and developing the technology, because we're still very much at the beginning and there's so much possibility for changes, right?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Let's say you have the scale. The scale is actually the power. Because you have larger scale, you have more batteries come out every year, so your margin will be, your margin will be a little bit higher compared with the small scale. Because you can think about it, if you build one single factory, it's 60 gigawatts, there's a lot of other things that you can share inside this whole, like a industrial park. So if you're small scale, the cost will be much higher. And those costs will say, we won't reduce the cost of the battery. It's not just the materials cost. Materials cost is a large part, but it's, again, the manufacturing cost, we can reduce it as well. That's two different directions. So if you build much larger factories, the manufacturing cost will be lower compared with the small scale. Excuse me, sorry. For the let's say some startup in Europe or other countries, if they want to get into the field, I think there are some other things they can focus on. Let's say they can focus on very small, very niche market, and then start from there, and then grow step by step.
But nevertheless, we will see a consolidation, right?
Yeah, in the future, you will go like that. Yeah.
Okay. And how about partnerships? How important is that? Because you said the factory in Hungary is basically on the other side of a street from a BMW
That's
factory.
Right.
So how important are such partnerships for battery companies?
I believe partnership is one of the key things to drive the whole business forward. If you think about that, is the whole industrial, is the whole it's like a chain. You have the from mining part to the materials part, to the chemical part, and then to the materials part, to the battery manufacturing part, and then you move to the EV part or energy storage part, and then you have the recycling, and then back to the mining part again. That's like a whole cycle. How do you share the margin of the whole cycle? Definitely, everyone has their own focus, and then you have own margins. So if you have a partnership, which means you connect everything, connect all the dots together, you have the connection with your partnership from the upstream and the downstream. So let's say BMW has the certain market share of the car industry, and then we have our own share of the battery part, and then the whole thing can flow, continuous flow. Otherwise, it will stop at a certain point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you can look at this overcapacity also from a different point of view. It's great what the industry achieved in building up such huge capacities so quickly. So that means on the other side we have to accelerate the demand side of things.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you look at the different markets, maybe look at EVs first and then at stationary second. Where do you see the most successful support schemes kind of helping the markets to grow sustainably? Mm-hmm. So because also we don't want to have incentives on, incentives off, which kind of disrupts the market. So what do you see actually?
What I see from, let's say, because EV is a company based in China, so let's use Chinese market as an example. I believe the European market and the USA market will be pretty much like the exactly same route in the future. I would say in the next 3 to 5 years. What happened in the Chinese market at the very beginning is the incentive, is the government driving and the incentive in stimulation to the whole industry, and then that's back to in 2016. That's what happened. In 2016, the whole market is actually quite small, but the government inject a lot of money to push those companies, those industries to move forward. And then we come to the oversupply stage, which is after 2018 or 2019, and then the whole market actually goes down, if you think about the whole history. And then after in 2019, and then it become like a market driving. It's not the government driving, it's a market driving. One example is BYD. Definitely it's a market driving. And then you can see the whole market goes up very quickly, and that's what happened.
But at the same time, that what you also need is, of course, usually the framework conditions must work. So that means you have to have the infrastructure going.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to say the next step. So if you want to every customer feel that the new stuff, let's say battery, the electric vehicle or energy storage station, no matter if it's for commercial or for domestic, you have to feel like that. That's something I have to use it because I feel so much convenient. It's so much cost effective. That's the key for the customer. So which means that the charge station, should be everywhere. Otherwise, you can't charge your car. For the energy storage, you have, let's say, solar. You have a solar panel on the roof, and then another very, very important things in terms of energy storage, I believe, is the openness of the electricity market. For now, I know I remember, if I'm not wrong, in 2020, Chinese government opened the electricity market, but it moved quite slow. Yeah.
Okay. So when let's maybe final question. So when you look at the market, the whole storage market in 5 years from now, what will be different?
5 years from now, first of all, I will expect much open market. Which open, I mean, let's say most of people think about the market is the financial market or some other market, which is in terms of the money or those things. Electricity actually is exactly same like money. It don't have any characteristics, which means it's everywhere. No matter the electricity in Germany or in New York or in Shanghai, it's exactly same thing. People just use it. They don't know the difference for the electricity. So actually, it's more like a money, like a currency. And you want the current to flow, you want the electricity to flow, you have to open everything. Yeah, you don't need any barrier to stop it to flow. So if the market is open, I believe there's a lot of application will happen. Once this one is ready, and then I would believe the market will boom again. It will be, very strong demand will come out. I believe that. And if for that, I would say the company have to be ready for those booming things. What is ready? For instance, you have to develop some products for the customer. The customer feel, I'm happy to use it. That's what we're doing. Making the large sales. One single 506K is 2 kilowatts of power inside, which is a lot. And then we develop a lot of product, which is a system. For that single systems, we have like 5 megawatts of energy inside a cabinet. Mm-hmm. That's a lot, but that would be much better for the people to save their space. If we install those things, you need the space to install it. It will save a lot of space and save a lot of the connections, those cables, all those things. You don't need those things. It's more like a module now. Yeah, it's like a plug-in. You can use it straight away. Yeah. So first thing, I believe the market will getting better in 3 or 5 years, and larger, stronger. I believe that. And for company, you have to be ready for those things. How to be ready? You have to develop the products for the customers. Let the customer feel like that. That's exactly the things I wanted. Save a lot of money, save a lot of hassle, or they can use it straight away, plug in, everything just feels so good.
Okay, super. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Kurt.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, great.